What's up, y'all? This your girl Nick. What's up? This your girl Nick, Raw Cannon. This is Philly Service Announcement, PSA, Glockaware Radio, every Tuesday, 5 to 6. Every Tuesday, 5 to 6. Takeover Tuesday. What's up, Cannon? We got Cannon in the building. I think my brother Rue, I think he like making grand entrances, and, because he can like really be here, but not be here, but he'll be here. So that's what it is. He coming, he's here, and he's coming, but ain't no telling. When he finished doing his 1,000,001 things, he'll come and step up on the show. But Kenny, come have a conversation with me because we ain't got time. We could do this. Like we could do this. He can play these games all he want, but we could definitely do this. This is my Cannon. This is my Raw Cannon. She's definitely, a family friend of the show. Come through, show up when we need her, has been here several times before, talking about a lot of good topics, doing a lot of good things in the community for a lot of good people.
Afternoon, brother. Glad you could
I
join
just
us.
was, I was just talking about him a little bit. I was just a little. Listen, you come. I said you're gonna come from doing the 1,000,001 things. You're gonna be here. I said I think he liked being fashionably late. I think he liked making grand entrances. You like sitting between two beautiful women. You know what I mean?
That's all. That's a definite. That's a definite. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
These is my sisters though. Like they married to my brothers.
I'm not married yet.
Well, she deal with my brother.
Yeah. But it don't stop the love. It don't stop the love.
It don't start the love. It's
Definitely don't
always
stop the
it's
love.
always a beautiful thing, man. I
Yes,
love
it
being,
is.
I talk about black people. Like I love being around black people because don't nobody love like black people. Y'all
At
think
all.
don't believe the hype. That's why they be wanting to be so close to us. For real, I'm telling you, everybody. That's
Drinking
why.
our style, our
Yeah.
swag, our
Yeah.
energy, our love. It's
But
all.
I'm just blessed to be around black people that love black people. I don't be having to explain myself too much. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a
Yeah.
time in my life when I started learning about who I was, where I felt like I had to explain myself to black people. Like, well, why are you into these black people so much? And I'd be like, damn, did you see me?
Did you hear
I'm
what you
black.
just said?
I am black. I look in the mirror.
I'm black, y'all.
Why do I
and
gotta
I'm black,
explain-
y'all. And I'm blacker than black.
Yeah. So
I'm blacker than black. Black.
all day, yeah.
Remember that on CB4?
Yeah, yo, boys used to do that to us upstate on some joke and shit. But it used to be truth. It was truth in a joke. Like I don't know I can't turn off. You know how once you find out, you just can't turn it off. It's like you can't unsee certain stuff.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And
Definitely.
I'm proud to say that about who I am. Like about who we are as African folk, people of African descent, the great things, all the things that we've done. So I don't want to turn off. Now I know what people be doing a lot of times when they do want to turn off because it's like the things we've gone through, like the things we're going through now. They look at it like, we just in this miserable space as black folk, you know what I mean? And we have been through some things. But history is not 500 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
History is millenniums, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And we've been here from the beginning.
Right. Exactly.
If you didn't know.
We had.
So, did y'all say this is PSA? Philly Service Announcement?
No.
Did you introduce yourself?
No.
I didn't.
I'm the assist.
Nicole. Nick introduced me, but
Okay.
I'm Benita Bird.
Thank you.
Been on the podcast before. I
Yes,
think one
yes.
other time.
Friend of the show.
Maybe twice.
Couple times.
Maybe twice.
Yeah.
So
At least twice.
At least
Yeah, I think
twice.
it's-
At least
that
twice.
I know of for sure.
Always got some solid information.
Yes.
For
More
real, for real.
times. And a lot
And
to
she one of those people, we all do the same stuff. And it's crazy, they got degrees and I get to turn around and be like, we all do the same. We do similar stuff, right?
I'm jaded about the stuff I do, y'all.
No,
I'm gonna tell
but-
you. For
but that's
real.
what-
I'm
yo,
outside.
that's what me and her
What's the
had a
topic
joke.
today?
Yo.
What's the topic
But she
today?
ain't.
The brothers,
Listen.
it was some brothers supposed to come in today. I don't know if they're gonna be able to make it or not. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really like to say who's gonna be on there and they'll come and it'd be like we kind of putting them out there. So
Yeah, let's not do
but what I was about to say about you, that can be a two things. One, she is when we do this work, you have a lot of resources, you have a lot of information. It's just like I said, like you can't unlearn it.
Right.
Once you expose to certain things and you learn certain stuff that you didn't know before, you can't unlearn it because you see it in real time when you using that information to serve people and help people, and you got to know
Right.
they information. It's like when we was talking about the cognitive dissonance, and you learn all these different behavior patterns, and then you see people exhibiting them, and then be like, you can't not see that no more. Like when you know what trauma does to people and when it could do to you, and you really get to see it, or you reading some data about kids or young folk or returning citizens or homeless folks or elderly, and you reading this data about all the different things that happen to them, and then you can live in the data, like you can walk in it, and a young lady will come in and be like, I don't have nowhere to go, I've been trafficked, and it's like, this ain't some news shit.
Right.
No,
This ain't no
it's-
article. This
this
little
is
girl,
real.
this
Right.
little girl is
Right.
sitting in front of me in the flesh. This is real. This is a real, and we do
Right.
that with a lot of different services that we proud of places we go. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. Like once you can't unlearn this.
Right.
So the other thing, information wise, when it comes to this queen right here, because she has that information from being in these, and another thing, when you in one space, you wind up being in all of them. So if you work in
Exactly.
DHS, you're gonna work in the school district.
Exactly.
You're gonna work down at family court. You're gonna be all in.
Exactly.
If you work at family court, you're gonna wind up in the school district.
Right.
You're gonna wind up dealing with DHS and all the other acronyms and all of that we got. If you work
All
for
these
one,
different
you're gonna wind up in
agencies
all of these people's offices
Everybody's interconnected.
taking
Yes.
stuff in that you
Yes.
can't unlearn.
Yes.
You
Yes.
can't unsee it. You can't cover your eyes.
Yes.
So that's the one thing about her information. You know what I mean? But then the other thing is we and her had a conversation. We was out and she was like, yo, you gotta really like parse through it. Like you gotta, you know what you want to do and you know where your heart at. But I'm telling you, these people and the things that happen is gonna make you be like, do I really want to do this? But this is what I do. And you know what I mean? Like I don't want to, because she
And
said a lot to me that
Not
night.
to interrupt you, but I'm 24 years deep in it. I don't know how many years you got,
Nah, listen.
but I'm
I mean,
24
I could
years
count-
in deep in it. So
I could count jail time because I'm not gonna lie to you. The reason why I can do the stuff that I do right now is because of how I had to deal with just men, though, and even some women from the CO standpoint, where like certain like I remember a sister came when I was downgraded for, and she was like, "Damn, y'all be grinding me up." Me and her having a real conversation. She was like, "You don't even understand that I grew up understanding this system, right?" And then, because of the system, I fell on hard times. Even though I had people helping me, so boom, I wound up getting on welfare. But then welfare to work helped me get this job. And I needed this job. I need these benefits to take care of my babies. But I also know that this system that has provided me a job is bringing all of my men in here. My own, because she was from down North Philly. So she was like, I've been around these type of brothers all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm always around them. And then for me to come here and my brothers look at me and talk crazy to me, you none of this, that, and the third, because I'm a CO, but y'all don't know I cry every morning having to come to work, like, because this is my job. And I got to take care of my kids. And I got to come here and treat y'all a certain type of way because of the system. And I'm going to tell you, she was a thorough ass chick. Like thorough as shit. Like she really was for us. And I know because I had been in certain spaces with her and she didn't do her job because it went against who she was as a black woman. Not her religion, not her moral. It's like, I can't do this part of the job right now because I can't do that to you because you're a black man and I'm a black woman. I've been in those spaces with her and I know she was doing it with other people. And that puts your job at risk.
Right.
So for me, it was like, I know your whole John. I get it. So I'm only saying that it's like she's giving me all of this, but she is CO. And I gotta figure, how do you deal with this sister? How do you assure her but tell her to do her job at this thing? You know what I'm saying? How do you tell her as a black woman, like, damn, you gotta be mindful of where you at and what you doing? But this is your job. And then I can't tell every brother to understand that when they deal with her. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So now
right.
because of where I'm at, when cats do say shit to her, it's like some boys I might be able to say something, but then a lot of situations is like, damn,
What
I
can you
can't
do?
really, I
What can
can't
you
say
do?
nothing, I can't do nothing. I'm frozen in that moment because it's like, damn, she don't deserve it, but you do got that uniform on, and I don't really know what you say at lunch
Right.
with your coworker. Me and you had these dope conversations, and I understand it, and I see it in how you move, but then I don't know how you is when you go in the office with your higher ups and all that. You know what I mean? So, learning all that, and then that goes into the organizational shit when you dealing with your coworkers and all that shit
And
out here when you
listen,
do community
think-
work or provide service.
God.
It's so and for me,
I'm jaded.
and she get like that sometime, but
No, I'm like
It's-
jaded to the thousandth
it's-
power today.
today.
Like
Today.
for real.
Today. But you know what it
Yesterday,
is
too.
though? You know what it is though? It is what we have been struggling with since the beginning of time, trying to get a piece of this American pie. Right? Because these systems that we are trying to be a part of, you know, we want to sit at these tables, be a part of these systems, and it starts all the way from the 9 to 5 up to the politics.
Shit, it starts from school.
You know what I mean? From school, right? So we struggle because everything that we're learning, everything that we're being taught, all the things that that they want us to do, that they're showing us how to do these jobs, a lot of them they don't mesh well with who we are as people, our values, our beliefs. It's against it. And so you got these people, black people, good, honest black people in these positions because they need a job and they was able to get this one. They in these positions where they're being forced to have to choose between doing a job or following my heart, who I am as a person, who I am as a human being, a black person, a black woman. You know what I'm saying? So I understand, like and I have been a part of this system and I see the problems, right? It's a lot of, it's these services that we are out here advocating for, wanting to get our people involved in, a lot of times they're flawed.
They are definitely flawed.
They're flawed.
And what makes it even worse is that they are set up to work in a way, but being as though the people who work in them aren't working it the way that they're supposed to work is just not going to work, because you're not even doing the basic things to meet that guideline, to meet that expectation. So it's just,
and not only that, we are growing, we are evolving as a people.
right.
These systems is the same systems that have been in place since the
Right.
beginning of time,
Right.
with no updates, no
Now, let me-
adjustments, no
None.
changes.
Now let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this, because that is a legitimate question, having to live that duality. So I went to Jamie teach a class. It's called Guerrilla Altruism. So what I told them, I was like, all right, you say you want to do help, you want to help. I said, you know, organizations can become corporate. So when you first started out as a 501c, it's just 3 of us. And we was really providing them service because it was just us 3, and we out here grinding, and our heart, leading with our heart don't matter because it's just us 3. But then they see that we really doing the work. So here they come and they say, well, all right, y'all doing this out of pocket, damn near with $10,000, we gonna give you $100,000. So now we want to provide these services, but we want to take care of ourselves too, because we doing it all out of pocket. And they come and then they come and they say, all right, y'all really doing this, so y'all might need to hire 2 more people. So we gonna give y'all additional, $250. We ain't gonna give y'all $100,000. So now y'all get it off the top, but we come with that money. They got guidelines,
and guidelines,
rules,
and
regulations. You feel what I'm
Accountability.
saying? And now you got to bring other people in, because they giving you more money. You don't want to turn down the money. They say, all right, we going to give you enough money where you can hire a staff. So now it ain't just y'all 3 no net. So now I got to hire people. I'm trying to, because the rules and the regulations come. So I want to really hire 10 people that's just like us 3. But the rules and the regulations gonna tell you, nah, you can't do that.
Right.
You can't. You gotta hire Karen. You know what I'm saying? You gotta hire Karen,
And that's how
and you gotta hire Condoleezza. Y'all know who Condoleezza is. Y'all know, and you gotta hire Clarence Thomas, because they got the degrees. See, the other people that's kind of like me, they don't necessarily got degrees. They got the heart for the work, but they don't necessarily got the degrees. So we gotta hire Condoleezza, and we gotta hire Clarence, and we gotta hire Karen. And now they whole thing is like, yo, we gotta do it straight by the book. We gotta do it straight by the book. You can't lead with your heart no more. We gotta get the numbers. Clarence talk about the numbers. We gotta get more people in here, because if we get more people in here, we get more money. They not numbers, they people. So now we going through the conflict. Before we even get to the big people that gave us the money, and they come with the audit, and they start asking all these questions. And they saying, why is it just so? Why y'all just? I thought we was doing this for everybody. Why all the people is black? Like, why it seem like y'all giving special attention to these black girls? This is supposed to be for everybody.
No, actually, it's not.
But when we
That's
gave you the money,
that's
we gave you the money.
misconception. But that is a misconception.
We gave you the money though.
But that is, and let
Miss
me say,
Overby, I
but
gave
listen,
you the money to
but
serve
listen.
people. How did all these black girls get in here? Why are they
listen.
getting special treatment?
Because we the ones that show up.
Exactly. But not only that, it when the money come into play, it takes away from the purpose, right? And then they want you to reinvent the purpose. Something different, not completely different. They include what you originally
Right.
set out to do in there.
Right.
But then they put the little, the little small
The devil's
print,
in the
the
detail.
the
The
small
fine
print
print.
in there, the fine print in there that kind of really changes the whole trajectory
Right.
of the
So
program.
can if you without putting too much of an experience out, because our thing is never like to put people out there. Even sometimes you just got to, because you can't show accountability if you don't tell people what it is. Somebody said it to me. She's sitting over there. She was like, "You be being vague. You be telling people, but sometimes you gotta say who it is, and you gotta give us the clear detail, because everybody can't follow." So it's part of the conversation that we having up there. People need a little more details. You know what I mean? Because you know what I'm talking about. I know what you talking about.
Right.
I
Y'all
could
know
give
what-
you an example.
But can you give me an example of what I was just saying, where they play with the details and the rules and the regulations?
I don't know if this goes to giving the detail I'm playing with the details and the rules and regulations, but it does go with the commitment and the passion and the drive that the people have in certain positions. I work at the Salvation Army. I work in sex trafficking. I'm a victim advocate for youth girls. Youngest girl I ever worked with was, I believe, 13. Oldest girl I ever worked with was 26. So one of the big issues that I have found to be an obstacle for me in my work is housing. It's nowhere
That's
for
a
these
crisis.
girls to actually go. It's nowhere for them to go. So being as though I work for the Salvation Army, we do have a safe house, but it is for women that are 18 and up. So I found myself dealing with a lot of young girls who in and out of group homes, in and out of foster cares, in and out of different type of residential placements, just like basically floating in and out the DHS care room. The DHS care room is just totally off I'm not even gonna speak on it. It's sad. But what
Hold up, my bad. What is the DHS? You said the
Department
DHS
of Human Services, the child care
room.
room.
Child
So
care
if
room,
a
alright.
child is run away, or if a child is put out the home, or if a child is leaving residential, if a child is in need of housing, if a child is in need of shelter, they come into the DHS room first. DHS process them out, send them to different places. I think you used to work at Forget Me Not. Didn't you work at Forget Me Not?
Nah, we in the Forget Me Not building, but I understand the process.
Alright,
but
so
I
yeah.
just wanted, because people would like the DHS
yeah.
care room. Like,
Yeah,
what
DHS,
you talking about.
yeah, the DHS child care room. But I say that to say, what I was touching on was housing. Work with the Salvation Army, and I had went to my director before, and I was like, wow, these girls ain't got nowhere to live. Like, let's get something together. Let's get a house. Let's get it just for the underage girls. And I love my director to death, and I understand where she was coming from, because her response was, I can't mess with the juvenile regulations. The regulations are so hard. It's so much to be met that she just ain't have it in her.
Right. So when you say it's so much to
Just
be
ain't
met,
have it
is
in
it like how you gotta staff it? Is
How
it
you gotta
how
staff
the
it?
house
gotta
gotta be situated?
how I gotta be ran? How the grant has to be written? I mean,
Like we
It's
talk
a lot.
about,
It's
we
a
talk
lot.
about
Too
red
much.
tape to a lot of situations, and how the system adds red tape, knowing like a lot of the things that we deal with, people have thought these things completely out. They have looked into outcomes and everything. So don't believe any politician, any economist, business, big corporation, big organization. Don't believe them if they be like, oh, we just didn't know that outcome. Y'all might have didn't think that was the most likely outcome, but y'all pretty much knew all of the outcomes. When you make one move, this happens. So I'll give y'all an example of red tape and people playing with how, not so much red tape, but people playing with the rules and it affects other things. And then people can utilize it. So I found out that I didn't notice that Pico, as long as you had, and we talked about this with the situation with my house, which was resolved today too. So, yes. So, Pico, as long as you got an address and you in good standing, they'll put the electricity in your name anywhere. Me and you could go sit on somebody's step. As long as you in good standing with Pico, you can call and get the electricity. They told me on the phone, because I was like, how does this happen?
Crazy.
And she was like, well, she in good standing. She called, so we put it in her name. Hold up. No lease?
That's crazy.
No bill? No nothing? No,
Let
she
me-
in good standing with Pico. So I'm going to tell you. Look,
This is crazy.
one
I got
job.
Pico.
So the reason why that's an issue, because if somebody get the electricity in their name, now they have squatters' rights.
Right.
So most of the people who are having majority of the trouble with squatting is people that own 2 homes, 3 homes, the big apartment buildings. You never hear about anybody, the developing Johns, the big developers. You never hear about anybody squatting in them Johns, because people psychologically believe they have a system behind them that we can't do nothing with. Where you can squat in them Johns too. But that's why they don't let you get bills and stuff in your name there, but you can actually do it. So just 1 minute, I'm gonna let both of y'all go. So now that's something that the developers use as an issue with renting, with bringing people who have certain backgrounds and things in, because they don't want people to squat, and then they don't want people not to care about their stuff and all that. But mainly they use the squatter John as a way to keep from having to rent for these people.
And I'm gonna add to that.
That's not the whole John, but that's one of the Johns
I'ma
that they
add
sell
to
it
that.
on.
I'm gonna add to that, because I have a lot of experience being a customer of Pico and working alongside of Pico.
Right.
Pico. So, what I'm going to say in addition to that, I think there is some red tape around that as well. They may not have all these rules and regulations in place and steps that you need to go by when we talking about private landlords, private properties. But when you got these commercial properties, right, Pico's going to want their money. You see what I'm saying? So you can't go move into a commercial property, like a big apartment complex, and call Pico and say, I need to get gas in my name here. You see what I'm saying? This is one of the ways that these systems are fucking us.
Yes.
Because if you live in it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you as a private owner, living where you live at, don't have no issues with the Pico, but somebody could come in and say that they live there, but it's not a lot of red tape with Pico to do that to you.
do that.
So, and then it's, and that goes back into as well the systems, the people who are running these systems, right? People do things that they're not supposed to do all the time when they work for these systems, like these companies, these big companies like Pico and PGW and stuff like that. Like, I'm gonna tell you, no matter what kind of red tape they got, it's gonna be somebody that you can find to get around that red tape. No matter how many good people Pico got working for them, they got some other people out there working for them that is utilizing their spot in that system to make more money,
right,
under the table.
But this is the thing. It goes as high as when you make this rule. When they did squatter rights and all that, people be thinking that sometimes people think that it may have started off as something to help people, but then you seen bigger organizations, bigger operations come and utilize that to harm you after. Because we think because Philadelphia got all of these squatter rights and all of that, it's horrible like Cali, but the population of people who are not getting housing keeps growing because they're using that issue as a way to argue why they shouldn't have to do certain things for people. Why would I deal with that when I can make all these big apartment buildings? I don't want to deal with none of this housing stuff for none of y'all, because it's going to be nothing but issues. People going to want to squat. They're going to want to destroy my stuff. This is what, I'm not saying people are even doing this, but this is the few people that are, they make the story big, and then the big companies that get the 10-year tax abatements and all that, they use those issues as a reason to be able to push us even further out the system when it comes to housing. The reason why those young women don't have housing is because all of the housing they building is for high-end residents.
Yeah.
It's not for people who getting themselves on their feet, or they not doing affordable housing in these places. Affordable housing is like, go ahead, put me on.
Well, I don't know if you know, but Section 8 they did this closed down, but they opened back up.
Mm-hmm.
So last year they had 800 different vouchers that they, a little over 800, I think it may have been 830 if I'm mistaken. 830 vouchers that they were going to give out for housing. What they did was, I think they took 180 of those vouchers, and they made them selective for people who have history of domestic violence, people who have history of sex trafficking, people who have history, just different needs. So it's certain organizations who were basically invited to have their clients apply for these vouchers. Fortunately enough, my organization was one of them. I was able to get housing for I believe I have 3 people moved in. I have one more girl waiting, and then I have another one, and two more girls waiting, and one more girl in the process of getting her keys.
Right.
What we have come to find out is that the problem comes in with it's a lot of people looking for housing, and if you don't have a job, even though Section 8 pays part of it, sometimes they pay all of it. If you don't have a job, landlords are passing you up. You know what I mean? And then I'm listening to what you're saying, and I guess I'm a Gemini, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
No,
I don't see any problem with protecting my assets just because you want to do something, just because you want to get over it. So I was a little quiet when you was talking. We were talking about all that.
Listen,
but I'm just gonna play
two things.
But let me wrap up and say, like, it's not a lot of housing out here, but it is housing out here. Unfortunately, the housing is not in the best neighborhoods. So you have girls who, you have people who it kind of like, you know what I mean, what's the word? It defeats the purpose to, you know, get a house, and you got a house down K&A. No disrespect to K&A, but you know,
K&A is hit because the city ain't talking about K&A on the news.
Well,
K&A hit because of the dope.
The
dope is
president
everywhere.
Do you know that the president was just down there? I want to say, I can't say exactly, but it was a couple months ago. I'm tied in with Salvation Army. We got another program down K&A that it's called the PAD program, like prostitution. But the president actually rode through K&A. I actually saw him. He actually rode past. He actually waved. But that's all he did. You know what I mean? He went to another school like a little further down. I'm just saying. You saying they ain't talking about it, but he did ride through it. He saw it because I was there to see him see it. It's messed up. I'm just telling you. It just don't take it in my head.
No, I feel you. But it even
up.
listen. But that's the thing. It even that proves my point even more.
Yeah, exactly.
The president of the free world you're talking about, right? You're talking about Joe Biden,
That's
right?
That's the only.
Joe Biden rolled through K&A, and that wasn't major news.
It was. It was on the news. It wasn't.
You know what I'm saying?
It ain't go viral.
It's the epicenter of the dope epidemic. The president went down there, and it was like
televised. It was.
He just rolled through. They used it in one of his campaign speeches after they didn't do anything, but they did. They made a treatment down there. Whatever they do, like whatever. I don't know.
But it's
like, because they didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's just
K&A is still K&A. People still coming out their houses, and people sleep on the step, nodding on the step. But to the point of what we was talking about, so I'm into protecting assets too. All I'm saying is, because if it's yours, it's yours. So I'm with all that. But on the one end, one of the issues we have, and please correct me if I'm wrong, it's not a lot of people taking the vouchers. I have conversations where we getting vouchers for people. It's not that maybe I'm.
What you mean
Am
not
I
taking the
exaggerating
vouchers?
when I say
What you mean?
people are able to get? So
What you
one
mean
of
not
our
taking the
issues
vouchers?
with housing right now is we definitely got clients, and we have a lot of different places to get money for them from, and nobody is taking in the city.
Oh, the landlords. Okay.
In the city, landlords, and that's what.
It's not that they not taking the vouchers, because they are taking the vouchers.
I know that Section 8 changed their rules too.
They're just being selective with who they take in, which I understand. Because if I have somebody who is working, you know what I mean, got their kids, you know, ain't making a whole lot of money, but they looking for somewhere to live, and you working, I'm gonna take you compared to the person who's not working, just because you got the voucher and I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Always, I need you to do that.
I mean, some people don't want to work. Some people want to squat.
No, I know.
Some people, that's they scam. That's they. You know what I mean? So when
I know. But that's what I'm saying.
The landlord, as a landlord, and some of these landlords, like, oh my God, it's a shame how they talk. It's a shame how they do people, how they talk to people, especially young black women. Like, it's just horrible. But you got to know your rights. You know what I mean? You got to know that you are deserving of this.
Right. And for me, it's it's not so much as there aren't any landlords. They're out there. It's just not enough.
Yeah, it's definitely not enough.
It's not enough. And like you said, it is landlords out there that's being selective.
Very selective.
Any kind of tenure is selective. You want to get in a place, you want to get selected, you got to apply. And one of the things that we struggle with as a people is presentation.
Oh my
right?
gosh.
So we gotta unlearn all of the toughness and all of the shells and walls that we put up.
All the mean and nasty get me what I want. It don't.
But no, that is not true.
I'm about to say,
it does get them what they want.
Because I'm about to say,
I have been in situations where this is one of the problems that I have with working in social services and working for these agencies that provide these services. I've been in a situation where I was working for a young lady. I was working for an agency. A young lady lost her job. She was a veteran and everything. She lost her job and just was behind on her rent, behind on her car note, came to the program for some assistance and got the job, got the assistance. We helped her with her rent. We helped her with her car. She got the job. And you know, that it's like a period where you go through where we reassess and stuff and look at the things you're doing and stuff like recertification and stuff like that, right? And me, being a young black woman, said, okay, I want to pay this young lady's rent for another 3 months. This is me coming in as her caseworker. I want to pay her rent for another 3 months. And you know what they looked at me and said? But she don't need she don't need the help. Yes, she do need the help. She just got the job.
Right.
She ain't got no savings.
Right.
She just got the job. Right? So why can't we help her help herself? Because that's what these programs is for. Because she's doing what y'all want her to do.
Right.
She's getting a job. She's paying her bills. She's giving me all the documentation I need to keep her recertified, keep her enrolled in the program. She's going along with it, right? But y'all want to cut her because of how much money she making. Y'all want to cut her. And ergo, we have the lifers. The people who don't want nothing but to utilize the system for what they can get the system for.
They get it too. It's kind of like everything in life, like with manifesting it. They manifest what they want. Like,
and this is my thing. I ain't hating on nobody navigating the system and utilizing the system for what they can utilize the system for. But y'all need to stop The people who are actually doing the things that you set out, that the program is designed for them to do this, and they're actually doing it, the minute they get their foot in the door, the minute they get a head up, y'all dropping them.
Right.
They're no longer eligible.
So, what that sounds like to me is like exactly what I was saying.
The poor getting poor.
So,
the rich gonna
what
get
you
rich.
do is you keep the lifers. Because that always is a need. The system needs to exist because
Everybody
of these
has
people.
to be a statistic,
Right,
though.
right.
In some
Yeah.
fashion or form.
So you're actually not helping as many people as you could be helping if you don't, because you want to maintain the people that eventually they're not gonna need the help. That 3 more months would have probably set her straight, and then you probably would have came in and said, "No, give her 3 more months." So we gonna give her a whole year,
and
now she good.
this is
and
what
the statistics
happens.
that shows improve these things.
And that's
You
true.
know what I
and
mean?
This is what happens. Y'all be tight with your money all year long, right?
And
And
then-
then the end of the year, the contract
year.
ends on June 30th. Here it is,
They
June
gonna
1st. Y'all got all this
spin
money.
down. That's
y'all
when the
want to
big
spin
spin
down.
down come on.
Now y'all want to go out and spend all
And we
this
ain't
money
gonna
and
talk
buy
about the
all this
spin down.
unnecessary stuff. And I done worked for multiple social service agencies, and this is the thing.
See, that
Because if you
goes
don't
down.
spend it, they'll take it back.
And again, when you get the money, the system is feeding itself. So again, we go back to us 3 starting it off. We get big, we start being a part of the system, and then it's like all of these things come into place. Why y'all only want us to keep helping the people who really don't want no help? That's coming in here that's not changing how they thinking, how they moving. They just come in here yelling and screaming at us. Y'all keep supporting them. And while we supporting them and they taking so much energy out of the system, so many other people we could be helping. But it's like, they look at it like prison. I used to look, and it's a perfect example of how all these systems work. Do you really want to put yourself out of business?
No. Not at
at
all.
So
But it's balanced for me.
Listen,
It's
no.
balanced
I'm
for
not
me.
asking y'all that. I'm
No,
just saying,
I'm just saying.
that's what it comes to. When I look at prison, I'll be like, why would you? Y'all got 3 generations. I talk about this all the time. Y'all got 3 generations of y'all families eating off of this prison, getting pensions, health care, the whole 9. Why would I try to educate you and help you rehabilitate not to come back? Why would the prison be trying to stop recidivism? So if I work for a homeless, where I'm working for people who need housing, the way that I keep getting money, I gotta keep people in the system that I know gonna bang out, and they gonna teach other people how to bang out. That's something else we don't look deep into, because it's like, yo, if I spend 10 years in prison, it's a good chance that my little brother gonna fall victim. My kids gonna fall, my little sister, you feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they look at it the same way. If we keep helping these people and letting them act like this, they gonna tell the girlfriend, they gonna tell the little cousin, the little daughter is gonna be influenced by this behavior. She's gonna move exactly like her mom in the Wimber. But that's a small minority, y'all.
It is.
It's other women like the women that I'm around, the women who, that one little time it got a little difficult. If you give her some help, she gonna do like that. And you know what she gonna do?
They still
She
is.
gonna teach. No, I know they exist.
Yeah, they did.
But they the women that are falling victim because they not getting help, because we keep purposely keep. Not saying y'all doing it. Not saying that y'all. I'm telling you, when you know, I hear so many people complain about the one young man, the one woman that's just not getting it at all. It's like they're not, and you want to keep, but it's all these other little babies that need
But
a little piece here, a
but
little piece there, and you're spending all your time systematically. It's people like us that's on the sideline talking to the babies that outside of what y'all pay us, outside of the hours, outside of whatever we can benefit from it. Because we see where the system is failing them. So I'm going to have that conversation with them off record if I can.
Right.
And you got to be, and that's a whole nother conversation, because we got to be careful of that. How much you giving, you know what I mean? You want to give, but you can't give all of yourself. And if you, in this system, people will ask you for stuff all day long. There is no hours where they don't think it's good hours, because they always in crisis. And to them, they need you when they need you.
They need you when they need you, and there's no dictating that. And for me, that whole cycle is just a Band-Aid on a bullet wound.
Right. And
Right.
Like you,
but the
y'all
systems we
giving
work
out
for,
these services, y'all giving out these services, but not doing anything for the underlying issues that's causing people to need and want these services. Period.
But that's the thing. I feel like, because I always go back to capitalism, we all get to the point where we want to make money. Everything can become corporate, even serving people. And people come into it with, like you said, we all become statistics at a certain point for a different reason. So when I understand those numbers, am I genuinely trying to get these numbers to help, or am I trying to get these numbers to keep the money rolling in?
I mean, it depends on who you asking that question for. Like, you may be trying to help. Like, we had a conversation before, and I told you, when we had that conversation, I admire your
She talked to me like I was a young boy. Like,
I mean, you are a young boy compared to me. Like,
I admire your energy
like
in the game. You know what I'm saying? I used to
fact
be just like you, but they gonna get you.
It's not even that they gonna get you. It's just that you're gonna see that, like, just like the prison system is designed to fail. It's not really designed to help. You know what I mean? That's not what the
capitalism dictates.
That's not what the design is for. So my mindset going in is, I know I'm not going to save everybody. I know I'm not going to save them all, but I know I'm gonna plant a seed for one or two.
That sounds like me in prison.
One or two, and if it do take for that one sister to come up, my thing is like, always know that you deserve better. Like, you don't deserve to. You don't have to. What's the word I'm looking for? You don't have to settle for being on Section 8 all your life.
You don't.
Even though your grandma was on it, your grandma was on it, your grandma was on it, and grandma was on it.
But we gotta. That's the change of thought, John.
Yeah,
like,
so
change somebody thinking.
So
changing the way we see the world, like, and that's what they
Expose
told.
us.
So what you got? What we have to. What I try to do as a worker in this field is just identify who really here for that change and who really only here because court mandated them here. You know what I mean? Or because they heard that, it's some services that, they could get from over here. You know what I mean? And I don't knock them either. Because my thing is, listen, we going to get and give whatever they can give. Exactly. Whatever we can get. You know what I mean? But it's not.
A wise person told me, and I start feeling like this anyway, again, because I'm telling you, I got trained for this in prison. Like, seriously, like, all that I'm doing right now, I got trained for this in prison. Like, dealing with these dudes and all the things that I found out that my brothers needed. That we all needed. Like, once I got enough, and not enough because you never get enough, you never stop learning.
Right.
But once I got to a certain place where I was like, oh, all right, I understand this. Like, I got it, and I start seeing it act in real time. Then it was like, no, I got to go out here and help. And I start thinking, I hear a lot of people say that, and I don't disagree with that. But I'm more of a like, let me stick my arms out here and grab as many as I can and just be trying to hold them.
You gonna stick your arms out. You gonna grab all the wrong people if you don't be selective with who you. Yeah,
it be some people in there.
Like,
I gotta check them out.
Everybody don't want the help, and everybody is not deserving of the help. Sometimes you gotta leave some people where they at. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
That's how you protect
like,
yourself and have self-care and don't end up.
And I know this is gonna be this can be debated, but it's like I have an age range for that.
Young,
no, I have an age range for that.
Oh, holla
I
at
do.
me in 10,
so
20.
4 years ago.
I have an age range with the let people go, John, because I just be like, all right, if you because if you like 14, I know I was 14. We were 14, and I know I just. Maybe I'm wrong.
What's your age cutoff? I'm curious.
I mean, I think it'll take a certain amount of experience you have to be around. So it's like 21, 22. And it's not a lot of experience in that. I could go all the way up to 26 because if you look at the information, but I really be on that time. I've been around enough, not saying that you haven't because there's 8 billion people on the planet, but I've been around enough young folks that normally if I'm around them enough time, I can get them to look at things. They might not do, and they never want to do everything I want to do. But I'm just telling you, I've done it. Just like you said, leave residue. I've left a lot of residue.
I used to work.
I've left a lot of residue with a lot of men, and now it's starting to be a lot of women and young women that they might not go exactly how I'm telling them. Listen, baby, it's gonna work like us. But I see it. Shit. To be honest, and I'm not no miracle boy or nothing. I'm telling you, I be seeing it from the first conversation. Like, soon, because it'd be like, it'd be little shit. And y'all know, nobody ever asked me how I was doing. When I first started hearing people say, I'm like, man, But then when you start seeing baby after baby, and 2 or 3 of them might have heard everybody else saying it or heard it on the music. Nobody fuck with me, this and there. But you can even see that. You coming in here, not that money means everything, but you coming in here with Yeezys on, new clothes, haircut, this, that, and the third, every day, somebody dropping you off in a car. Somebody care a little bit.
A lot.
So you sitting there telling me, nobody care about me. Yo, you listening to music. I'm getting it from the mud. No, you're what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your dad dropped you off in a Jaguar. You got Yeezys on. You're here. It's other cats in here coming in here with beat up Crocs. Hair ain't been cut since they been in a program. That's dip. You trying to, y'all all listening to Lil Durk, and I gotta stop saying Lil Durk name all the time because it's just, that's the name that pop up. Y'all all listening to Lil Durk. Oh, I gotta get it from the mud. You can't trust nobody, this, that, and the third. So once I have a conversation with them, I've done it with young men, and I see it because it's introducing new information. Y'all know I'm not reinventing anything. A little bit of new information had kids looking at stuff completely different. Or just a little bit of a difference.
No,
I'm telling you.
I mean, like
I'm
I said, I've been in this thing for a long time, and I definitely see the difference with these kids today. I used to work at juvenile treatment court, so I did 11 years down there with Judge Reynolds. God rest his soul. Like, everybody talk all this Judge Reynolds this and Judge Reynolds that. Judge Reynolds was a good dude. He gave a lot of people a lot of breaks. You understand what I'm saying? Too many breaks, if you ask me. You know what I mean? And he, in juvenile treatment court, the whole gist of juvenile treatment court is if you didn't have a felony, a violent felony, first or second arrest. I think maybe some kids had 3 arrests: weed, selling, hustling, car theft. If you didn't, nothing violent. If you came through my program, you had to identify with a drug or alcohol issue. You came through my program for 6 months. Of course, nobody got through it in 6 months. After 6 months, you were supposed to graduate juvenile treatment court a year following. Not getting in trouble, your record get expunged because like your juvenile record is not it's not like it was before. If you committed something as a juvenile, they look at it now. Your records they use those points against you.
Right.
Long story short, I used to have kids when I first walked in there. I'm gonna say this is 2007. If I had 10 kids, and I tell this story all the time. If I had 10 kids, I knew maybe 4 or 5 moms. I ain't know no dads. I might have knew an auntie or grandma, meaning that's who introduced me to them. You know what I mean? That's who they was living with. Fast forward 2013, 2014, I got fathers coming in there with them kids. If I got 10 kids, I know 9 moms, 1 dad. So my thing, it goes off to what you was saying. Y'all got people out here who got y'all back. Y'all just listening to whoever and just out here.
Watching Instagram.
And unfortunately, because that's the way of the world and because it's so embedded in them, like that old school way of thinking, they just not getting it. I mean, they're not getting it from their peers. I would have kids who ain't have nothing come in and sit me down and say, Miss Benita, listen, I did this, woo, 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 woo. I ain't coming to court tomorrow. What's going to happen? Because I ain't going to be there in court. Like, straight up, straightforward. Fast forward, dumb little boys, dumb little girls, ain't have no reason. I mean, you have mothers, fathers in court. They don't know how to keep it real. They don't know how to turn to their peer. They don't know how to listen to their peer who don't got a mother, who don't got a father, who telling them like, listen, you out here doing woot the woot. These kids nowadays, I mean, no disrespect, but it's different. It's because this system. It's different, and I don't see it getting any better.
Listen, it's getting worse.
It's not going to get any better.
And I'm telling you why. It's because this system. And listen, I love individualism. I respect our youth that's coming up. I love y'all breaking generational curses, not doing the things that your parents and your grandparents did before you, doing something different. But let me tell you this. Having a grandparent, a mother, a father, an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, somebody in your life trying to teach you to do the right thing, whether they are doing it from a place of old values and beliefs or new values and beliefs, you got somebody that's there to support you.
Some people.
But what happens is y'all have these people and y'all have these children and these teenagers and the youth, and they in these systems like the school system, the mental health system, and all these things that they laying out. is telling what they laying out is they telling these kids,
Mm-hmm.
you ain't gotta listen to
You
your
ain't gotta
parents.
listen. 14, that's it.
14, 15 years old, you can go sign. You can say, I don't want mental health treatment. I don't care what my mom say.
I went down to the DHS building yesterday. I seen a little girl. They said she using the DHS building like a hotel, for real, coming in and out. And what got me like a little twisted was when they said, because we got 4 or 5 places that accepted her, but she didn't want to go.
She don't want to go. They don't want that kind of structure. They don't want that kind of. They don't want. Or listen, and it's sad and it frustrates me because our children are out here being told that the way they was raised and the way they came up in their black family is not good.
Right.
It's not something to cherish. It's not something to build from. You need to get out here and live like the white families live.
Right. And
How the hell we doing that?
I'm not even going to touch on them.
You gotta
How the
follow
hell
the
are we
money.
doing that?
You gotta follow the money.
They ain't even
Whatever's
following the
hip.
money.
No, no,
This
no,
ain't
no,
nothing.
no, 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 no. I'm talking about following the money from the standpoint of whatever they telling you is the thing of the day. Like I said, a lot of people are telling this, get it from the mud. You can't trust nobody. That's
What do that mean? Get it from the
get
mud?
it from the mud be like you got it from the dirt. Like you came from nothing to something. But that story usually is told from a standpoint that you stood on your own too. You're 10 toes down, just you. Nobody has ever done anything like that. Nobody has ever done anything average by themselves. It's just not the way we situated.
It's not.
How life is
It's
situated.
really
It's not situated. It's a
really
lot
not.
of signaling, like y'all saying, from the music, from movies, from Instagram, from their peers who are following other influencers who are getting paid to have you go this way and that way and not the straight way. And I ain't talking about straight way as in being straight, square, doing whatever the state tell you to do, because that's the other thing. When we talk about parents being able to relinquish their kids, because there's a lot of systems that's set up for parents to be like, I don't want to do this no more, or I just can't do this no more for whatever reason. But it's a lot of systems set up. And going back to 1-800-child abuse or whatever, putting that. Now, this is the thing. And you can read about it if you into politics. Democrats usually have this parent state mentality with a lot of their policies, where the state will take over for a lot of our things that we need done. I mean, you could say welfare, you could say Section 8.
Keep them out of your home.
Right. No. But this is what I'm saying.
Just keep 'em
Democrats usually create those systems, and they are in the skies of helping. Like when we talk about welfare, and we say now, but we're going to create this system to help y'all, but the man can't be there. And that's just one example. That's a glaring example, but that's just one example. It's like so many people coming home from upstate, they can't stay with their parents. Now, your parent got a secure place for you to stay, but you live PHA, you live Section 8. That person can't come home.
There.
So now we have a stress there. But I'm just saying where
that's just
system,
the breakdown and the destruction of the black family.
Right.
That's it. This is what I'm talking about with our youth. They don't use them.
They're being signaled by the state that you can parent yourself, because at the end of the day, what do you become? A ward of the state. So the state on one end, when they're trying to help you, gets to tell you what to do. And now we can get on the other side.
But your parents ain't supposed to be able to
say. But these kids ain't listening to their parents and ain't listening to the state. They not listening. They not listening. I know what you're saying, but they not listening on. I'm telling you, they ain't listening.
No,
on
but they are. They are
saying.
listening to the state, because the state is the one that's. I'm telling you.
No, they doing whatever they want to do.
Yes, because the state is telling them you don't have to listen to your parents.
That's it.
We have things that break you away that you don't have to listen to anybody.
Yeah.
The state also influenced people to say everybody can be an entrepreneur. So now that feeds into that culture of not wanting to work. I ain't gonna work all these years and break my neck like my parents.
Like my parents did was so wrong.
But then you see all of these young folks roaming around, because they don't gotta listen to nobody. And the state is saying we'll help you, but it's no help. Because now, because we put all these systems in play that say you don't have to listen to your parents. You can come here. You gotta
listen to us.
They ain't listening to them.
And that's why they roaming around.
That's the
thing.
thing.
That's why they roaming around.
But the only thing the state wanted, was to eliminate the actual parents. Because I'm gonna tell you how the state gets your ass. Because while you roaming around out there, you do some goofy shit, you're gonna become a ward of the state for real.
and you gonna go right to their money maker.
And when you look at it, this is what a lot of these kids is running into. They running into places where now they have to be locked away, or they have to be on monitor.
I got
the state is
opinion.
Go ahead.
I mean, all I'm gonna say about that is, I mean, when I was 15, I was skipping school. I went to girls' high. I went to school 2 times a week. That means 3 times a week I was in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
But my grades didn't reflect that. You know what I mean? But we had a whole cheat system, but that's a whole different thing. Point being, once my mom found out what it was hitting for, my mom took me down to the DHS building. She told them it's a like a pre-intervention program that DHS has. She told them, listen, she want to do this, she want to do that. She's not going to do this in my house, but she's definitely not going to be in the streets. Y'all going to send her away somewhere. She ain't going to get what she want. They said, Miss, look at her school record. She ain't got no suspensions, this, that, and the third. I was smart. I fought my battles on the streets. I wasn't getting in trouble in school. You see what I'm saying? Long story short, they told my mom, you got a month. Take her back home, and if she don't straighten up in the month, we'll open up a DHS case on her. I went home because I saw my mom wasn't playing. I would have fucking cleaned the damn bathroom with my toothbrush and used it in that month so that I ain't had to go back there. My point is, some of these parents, unfortunately, and I tell my parents all the time, you gotta stay in these kids' way. I don't give a damn what your teacher said. I don't give a damn what the counselor said. You gotta stay in these kids' way. And when your kids see that you're not staying in their way, they're gonna try you.
But again,
they are going to try. They are going to try you. And unfortunately, I'm speaking from, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm not disagreeing with what y'all saying. I'm not disagreeing with what y'all saying, but on the same note, a lot of people, a lot of parents are giving up on these kids. They not staying in their kids' way. You understand what I'm saying? They just not staying in their kids' way.
And again,
and that's
that
causing
comes from, like I said when I first said that about the parent state thing. Not parents being parents, but the state being a parent. But the state is being a parent over everybody. They're giving you the opportunity, more and more opportunity to relinquish your children. That's what they're doing. They're giving more moms. I'm telling you.
I mean, yeah, it's true, but as a mother, as a parent, I just don't see that. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm just putting the onus back on where it kind of like gotta fall. You see what I'm saying? Because as a parent, I don't care what you got going on. You're not going to tell me what to do with mine. And I think if a lot of parents, I feel like our generation, meaning us 40, we lost it somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you where. My mom say it all the time to me because I got a 20-year-old daughter, 24-year-old son, you know what I mean? They out here living. Yeah, I mean, my mom, I say they little ungrateful little, yeah, I mean. But my mom tells me all the time, that's because you ain't raised your kids how I raised you. You thought that it was all right. You thought that I was being a little too strict. You thought that I was telling my girlfriend the other day, when I was little, I didn't go to sleepovers. I didn't sleep out at people's houses. I slept at a cousin or an aunt house, and that's it. I didn't go sleep over at people's houses. You understand what I'm saying? My point, only point that I'm trying to say is that, yes, the state allowing it, but if you're going to take advantage of that, as a kid, they don't know.
No,
look
actually,
at the kid.
No,
if
actually,
you look at your
they
mom,
know too much.
Yeah, no,
they know too much. See, one of the things that we did not have coming up, one of the things that, they think they know.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say.
They think they know.
They don't know.
They just when you think about it, though, when we was coming up, it was, we was walking to see shorties when we was younger. We would walk from Nicetown over Hunter Park to Erie Avenue. We was walking everywhere. We couldn't just pick up a phone and go to social media and holler at somebody.
No, what takes me out?
Exposure is just what we were exposed to, and the things that the obstacles that we face coming up are not the same obstacles that our children are facing coming up right now.
And they making it sweet for them, because just think about snow. When it snow, school? I remember walking to school with the snow up to my hip. But this is what I think of that. I think those people in those administrative positions now were us walking in that snow. They was us walking in that snow. And now that they got some power, they try and make it a little easier for their kids.
And
It's sad, but
on the flip side, of that, the insurance industry is booming.
oh yeah.
Right? Don't nobody want no lawsuits, no
right.
slip and falls, because
Exactly.
we sending the kids. The schools don't want to be like, they barely want to teach the kids. They want to put that in the private
and
market.
I'm not telling you this is not a good.
Everything is last.
I'm not telling you this is not a good business model. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, everybody always talk about being liable. I don't want to be liable for this. I don't want to be liable for that. Because y'all, because of the pressure that the system puts people under of capitalism, you got people who signing their kids up to SSI knowing their babies ain't all the way shot just because you want to get the check.
Oh yeah.
You got folks planning slip and falls, and that turning into, when we was young, that turned into a whole epidemic, like a real hustle. Like how people talk about squatting, and that's a big thing now that came to the East Coast because it's been a big thing in the West Coast, especially in California. But I remember getting in a car. This is another systematic thing where it's like people are trying to chase capitalism. They just want some status. Where, remember when everybody that got hit by a car, the first thing you think, like, damn, you gonna get some case money. You ain't think that that they lost their teeth, that their collarbone broke, and they was almost paralyzed.
I mean, you might as well get
everybody like, we hit the lottery. Like, oh, we got hit.
I'm about to get paid.
Motherfuckers got hit by a car, they about to get. But what all I'm saying is, people were deprived and depressed of money, and these things become a thing. You feel what I'm saying? And that adds to the system, again, where they know how people are going to respond when they impoverished in this way. So it makes the information is less. They know they dumbing you down at school. Like you said, us as parents, me being away, I dropped the ball. My women that's in my age range, they come from the crack era. They come from, I want to love on my baby so much because of all the stuff that was taken away from me because my mom was on drugs. Yeah. But it's just like men who want to give their kids everything because their dad didn't do nothing for them. He wasn't a good dad. Though you turn your kids into bums, though. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be honest. I got 2 homies. Because they didn't have dads and their dads didn't do what they were supposed to do about them. Their whole thing was, I can be horrible in every other place in life. I'm going to be a good dad. But they thought being a good dad was just spoiling your child.
Being cool with him.
Right. Getting his hair cut. Like, you're supposed to get his hair cut. But you know what I'm saying. Like, he on a clockwork like a grown man. New sneaks, clothes, dressed like dude. Got everything his parents got.
Not teaching him a trade. Not going out there cutting the grass with your son. Not going out there playing a sport with your son. Not doing shit
walking
with him. Doing
everything.
Shit for him.
Yes. Walking
and that's just
through.
the problem. And that's not even just dads, it's moms too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, walk with your kids. Don't talk at them. Have conversations with them. You know what I'm saying?
Stop corrupting your baby.
Be a part of their lives. Do stuff with them. Don't just tell them what to do and send them off.
It's not cute when they know them rap lyrics at 4. And we've been talking about this forever. It's not cute. It's not cute when she wear the same clothes you wear and she 5. It's not cute putting weave in her hair because you got issues with your hair. So she 3 years old. You trying to make her extensions. Why she got shit in her hair? You're damaging. You're corrupting your child with your own issues.
We have a problem as a people.
Projecting
our fears. No, but we have.
That is the system, though.
We as a people have a problem projecting our fears onto our children, and from a culture, from a place of generationally being connected and being in slavery, you can understand where that fear comes from.
I'm gonna say
see
this.
What I'm saying?
Right.
I'm gonna say this.
You can understand where it comes from.
Goes to something you always say, and it goes to something we talking about as a whole. The reason why the systems fail, because they did break the system of the black family down, because we're all the we need and DHS and all these people we used to do. Your aunt used to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Grandmom used to do that.
Got it with
your cousin
CCIS.
who made it used to take the kids. So instead of having to actually bus kids and they got to go through all that, they could go live in a comfortable space with your aunt who live in Jersey now because she got a couple of hours. She got married, went out Jersey. She said, listen, I can't take all of them, but y'all can come to the crib for the weekend, enjoy it, get away. That one right there, I'm going to let him stay with me. We used to be the systems.
Yep.
We used to, our families, our extended family. When you had family, when we went down south, I don't hear nobody talking about family reunions and going down south no more. But down south was a place where you wanted to get your niece away from the
That
nut
was
center.
summer kid.
You send them down south. You want to send them. I know we ain't always like it. But no, I'm just
I ain't
saying.
send my kid. No.
Nah, I got great experiences being down south. For
I
real.
did too, but I had to, I mean.
But all I'm saying is, in a nutshell, is one of the places where all of this is failing because it used to be our extended family that stepped in and became DHS and the welfare system. And they became the cat that gave the little loan and let your cousin stay in his first apartment so he could have that independent living skill that we're trying to provide. You know what I'm saying? When the other little cousin come home, he did do something wrong. Like I said, send him down here to get him out of trouble. We was the systems. It wasn't about relinquishing.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
We took care of our own.
So that's
what we need to get
that's
back
the thing.
to.
We need to become those systems
Stay in
again.
your kids' way.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
get in their way. I like
If mom
I used to
ain't
be
in
like,
the
you gotta
way,
run after him.
aunt is in the
Stay
way.
in your
If dad
kids'
ain't
way.
in the way, uncle is in the way.
Yes,
Like somebody,
When
everybody, that's how we are as a culture, though.
Right.
But everybody, they got the
2
corner
or 3
syndrome.
generations in one household.
Everybody
You
got
don't
the
even see
corner
that no more.
Everything is cut like they said
that's
with
just the
cancel
dumbest.
culture.
Yeah.
Everything
that's
is
the way
cut
to
off
come up.
culture. We've been talking about that a lot. Like, can we argue? Can we disagree without it being, man, I ain't fucking with you no more? Because that's our thing. And some people, like you said, they deserve to be cut off. Some people, they just not gonna do right by you. But we doing that with minimal stuff, y'all. We cut each other off and everybody go into their little corner about the smallest little thing. And you ain't gonna get no help over there. You're not gonna get no help over there by yourself. The help over here, where we all at. You feel what I'm saying? But we get into that a lot, where it's like the things that'll make you not deal with nobody no more is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. It's like, because we all like, no, they ain't gonna treat me like that again. You ain't gonna get me like that again. You know what I'm saying?
Trauma
Like,
response.
It's
It's trauma response. And
See?
we gotta treat that trauma.
Gotta treat.
And
Well,
this is PSA. Philly
Philly
Service
Service
Announcement.
Announcement. Love, support,
Yes,
grace,
all
social
the time.
activism. Is it resources and heart? Did I almost forget? I'm the assist. This is Nick Raw Cannon, my right hand sister. That's what we doing out here. We out. Love y'all.
We out.
We appreciate Benita Bird, y'all. Thank you.
She always she's an old faithful. She always come through when
She
we
was
need
trying
her,
to she was trying to play devil's advocate. You know that's her thing. It's like, no, let me get off the show.
Listen, I got people like you.
And also,